Hello, I'm Martin Bamford from Informed Choice, and in this video a summary of the measures just announced by Chancellor Rishi Sunak, including how the new jobs support scheme is going to work, who's eligible, how much support that will provide. Now, the Chancellor spoke in the House of Commons this afternoon, and he spoke about this new response, this new economic response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Interestingly, this is a far more measured response. This is not like the emergency financial support packages that he initially put in place back in March. This is about adjusting to a new normal, and he had some quite strong messages about how we're going to have to learn to live with this now. This is not about a quick emergency response to try and save every job. This is now about saving viable jobs and saving viable businesses. So he talked about furlough 2. He didn't use those terms, but we're all going to know it as furlough 2, the new jobs support scheme. And there's a few points here that are really important in terms of how it will work. So it is being targeted at viable jobs, viable businesses, and that means jobs where workers can work at least a third of their regular hours. In those circumstances, the government will step in and fund up to 2/3 of their normal working hours through furlough payments. So it's a type of flexible furlough, but it does require a minimum number of hours to be worked. Now, we talked about viable jobs. That means that furlough 2, the new jobs support scheme, will only be available to certain businesses. It will be available to all small and medium-sized businesses, but it will only be available to large businesses where they have experienced a fall in demand and a subsequent fall in turnover. And then in terms of eligibility for this new job support scheme, it's going to be open to businesses who did not get involved in the original furlough scheme, as well, of course, as those that did if they qualify. So that's what's happening with this new jobs support scheme. He also said that for self-employed people, there is going to be equivalent support, and we'll wait to see a bit more detail on that. But it means if as a self-employed person you have experienced a reduction in your work and your turnover, your income, then you should be able to get government support in the next round of self-employment income support scheme. So that's coming as well. Now, Rishi Sunak also talks about how he's going to ensure businesses have sufficient cash flow to get them through the winter. So there were some changes to the various coronavirus loan schemes, the government-backed loan schemes. On the bounce-back loan scheme, which has had more than £30 billion worth of take-up, there's going to be an extension to repayments and also what he called a pay-as-you-grow scheme. So the ability for people, businesses who have taken those loans, to defer payments or to repay money on an interest-only basis for up to 6 months, as long as they're able to, and then it does not affect their credit rating. So some sort of more flexibility and a bit more time to pay as you grow. For the main coronavirus loan schemes, which are coming to an end in terms of new applications at the end of this year, he talks about a new scheme coming into place from January onwards, and also for the existing schemes to extend the term of the government guarantee for up to 10 years, so giving lenders a lot more confidence to lend to businesses. There was also some news about tax deferrals, so VAT payments will be able to be spread over 11 payments next year, and up to a year longer to pay self-assessment tax from January too. So some good news in terms of cash flow for businesses and individuals in that respect. So that's what's happening with the new job support scheme. That's what's happening with the loan schemes. That's what's happening with the tax deferral that's going on at the moment, and also some good news in there for self-employed people. I think the tone of what the Chancellor said today was so dramatically different from his emergency announcements back in March and April. I think we have to recognise that this is the new normal now. Businesses are going to have to adapt, and the economy is going to have to adapt to this new way of doing things. So that means businesses may have to change their approach. They may have to change the way they employ people. They may have to change their customer base and their propositions just to ensure they are viable long term. We don't know how long it's going to be before a viable vaccine is developed for coronavirus, if at all. So whilst there's been lots of talk in the press this week about 6 months for the current social distancing measures that are recently announced, I think we have to all be very realistic about this and accept that it could be a great deal longer. We may have to, as businesses and as the economy, deal with coronavirus for many years to come. So that was an overview of the new job support scheme and the economic measures announced by the Chancellor today. If you have any questions, please do send them across to us. One of the financial planners at Informed Choice will be very happy to discuss your own circumstances with you, what this all means for your financial planning, for your personal finance. Do check out our website at icfp.co.uk. That's all from me. I hope you found that useful. Press like below. Do subscribe to our channel. or like our page. And of course, you can leave any comments you have in the comments section below too. Thank you for watching.